Welcome to A Balanced Life on the Go. I'm Dr. Nicole Lindsay, your host on this podcast, along with Dr. Brian Jeanette. This is a podcast designed to help connect you to a more balanced life on the go. Each week, we will bring you simple, concise, and easy to implement ideas, tips, and strategies to help you connect to better nutrition, movement, and thinking so you can achieve balance in your busy life. Isn't this what life is all about? Trying to achieve balance so that we can be healthy, happy, and live to our fullest potential. We're glad you joined us. Let's get started. We have a very special guest for our podcast today. Kyla, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Kyla Gavlin. She is a registered and licensed dietitian and nutritionist. And she works at Remedy Health and Wellness Store, is where she's located. So we're very excited to have you today.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
So I see you're from the Midwest. You did your internship at Lenoir-Rhyne University, but your undergrad you did at St. Louis University.
And my master's there, too.
Oh, your master's.
Yeah.
Awesome. And you enjoy CrossFit, cooking, reading, and spending time with your other half?
Yes.
And your four-legged baby.
Yes, my fur baby.
Awesome. Well, something that intrigued me, I saw on your website, you said that you believe that food is medicine and what we eat can either harm us or heal us.
Absolutely.
So let's start there. Let's start talking about that, because I think that that's really important. It's a really, really bold statement, and I like it. Before we do that, though, this will give you a minute to think about that.
Okay.
What we always need to do is we need to know what color socks and what the theme is. He's got very interesting socks, and that's part of our podcast.
Super dreary day outside.
Right.
There's ice all
Every
morning.
time we do this, it's dreary.
I know. Every time we do this, it's dreary. So I wore my tropical socks. You can't see them in the picture, but they got
nice
palm trees on them. Tropical. I'm thinking warmth.
Trying to bring the sunshine.
Trying to bring the sun.
Okay. I like
it. You always bring the sunshine in.
I try to. Someone has to.
Okay. All right. Awesome. That's right. Okay. So, food is medicine. What do you mean by this?
So, food has a natural ability to make us feel good, right? For our bodies to function optimally. And it's food that, we generally inadvertently know we should be eating, but sometimes kind of forget. So, whole natural foods, fruits, vegetables, protein, fat especially. Fat has gotten a bad rep. In the 90s when everyone was like, the low-fat craze.
Seems bad.
Yeah, and now fat is good, and there's so much stuff out there about that. But by nature, those are the types of foods that we should be eating. I think where, when life gets in the way, everyone's busy. Everyone's stressed out now. We have, biologically, we're hardwired to crave sugar and fat, right? Because sugar, salt, and fat, because those are the foods, back in when food was scarce that we knew would, sustain us for long periods of time. Well, now food is never scarce, right? You have a fast food restaurant every
corner.
Yeah, every corner. So those foods are available to us all the time, right? So we've gotten away from eating, the foods that we know we should be eating. That's healthy, but takes a little bit of work to prepare. That's why they're better for you, because you have to actually cook them or just eat them raw versus, the fast food where it's already prepared, it's already been processed for you. And it's not that processed foods can't be enjoyed as part of an overall diet. It's just when you consume them every day for every meal for so many years, that's when we start to see those long-term health effects.
Yeah, there was a book I read a while ago, many years ago, and Harvey, Marilyn Diamond were the authors. I can't remember the name of the book off the top of my head, but they said one of the things they said in there was get rid of your microwave and get a juicer. And they went on this whole thing about how microwaving and cooking food just in general just kills everything live, the enzymes, everything. It denatures and changes the molecular structure of it, and then it doesn't do for your cells what live
healthy food can.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is that it's even like cooking itself isn't, bad for the food either. There's actually some foods that are more nutritious when they're cooked, lycopene, which is found in, tomatoes. You actually get higher amounts of that when it's been cooked versus, when it's raw. So it comes back to everything in balance, right?
Yeah.
You want to consume a wide variety of foods, fresh, whether they've been unprocessed or slightly processed. I mean, cooking is a form of processing food. But again, when the foods get to be too much in like salt and then, fat. Again, fat itself isn't a bad thing. It's just when we're having those high amounts of the highly refined oils, that's where, again, those problems run into place.
Mm-hmm. You bring up a good point about the lycopene, the stuff that you see in like tomatoes. Mm-hmm. You get more out of it when it's cooked. Right. How do you answer patients' questions or clients' questions about, well, should I eat this raw or should I eat this cooked? Like, what's better? Do you have like a general guideline for patients?
Yeah, I mean, generally, people aren't eating enough fruits and vegetables as is. So if we're starting from ground zero, whatever they like, that's when I'm going to recommend that they start to throw in. Some people don't like the taste of, spinach, for example. Spinach is just leafy greens, right? It's really, it fills you up quickly just because it's a high volume food. But if people have a hard time eating it, a lot of times
they're not going to.
Yeah, they're not going to. So pairing it with, fruits like in a smoothie or something where you can just throw it in and it's getting blended up, that's at least one way to start introducing, some vegetables into your diet. Mm-hmm. I normally don't recommend juice to start. If you're doing it yourself, that's one thing. But if you're buying it, off the shelf somewhere, you get vitamins and minerals from it, but the best way is to either just eat it as is, or if you have like a Vitamix or like a high efficiency blender, just start including, the skin in it too, just because that has fiber mostly, and there's vitamins and minerals in it.
It's got its own set of good nutrients.
Yeah, exactly. And then going from there, adding in, fruits and vegetables throughout the day. That's where I have people kind of just start off, because I'm all about working within what your lifestyle currently is, right? Versus if someone, already maybe eats somewhat of a healthy diet, then it's just a matter of, again, I think everyone can benefit from eating more produce, so just sneak in stuff in, throughout the day. And eating the foods that they actually like, too. I mean, if someone hates salad, then I'm not going to tell them to eat a salad, right, because you can have roasted vegetables instead, and that's a really delicious way to enjoy, especially cruciferous vegetables. It helps break down some of those enzymes, so it's not as gas-producing versus eating it raw.
Yeah.
So how do you take a person, if we have a listener now that is not eating healthy, they're overweight, they don't feel well, and they want to do something, they want to change, what's a good thing for them to do if they're listening and they want to start making some changes?
So taking a look at liquid calories, I think, is the best way that you can start looking at that. So sweet tea, soda, coffee, if you put a ton of stuff in there, if you're drinking those liquid calories, that's just pure sugar going straight through your body. It's doing nothing for you. If you can at least start taking out at the minimum at least one of those every day and replacing it with water, that's it already. That's like, I think like a 20 ounce of regular Coke is like 240 calories or something.
Oh, and like something obscene is 16 teaspoons of sugar.
Yeah. It's crazy. So taking a look at those liquid beverages first, I think, is an easier way to kind of ease into that. And then, a lot of people find that if they are consuming a lot of those sugary drinks just by taking it out, I mean, they'll lose weight almost instantly.
Yeah. I actually say that to our patients here. I ask them if they drink soda, if they drink stuff like that. And most of them will say, yeah. I say, how many do you have? Like, 3 or 4 a day. But if you actually do the math and you drink one soda every day for a year, if you take out that soda, in 1 year you're going to lose 10 pounds just by not drinking the soda.
Just by doing that one thing.
By doing that one thing.
Yeah.
So that's 10 pounds automatically.
Yeah.
So there's easy stuff that people and clients can do. What are some other easy examples that you have of how to kickstart, jumpstart people that almost might be scared, or they're nervous to make big changes?
So I think, like, you know, as a culture, we tend to be one of extremes, right? We're either over-consuming or extremely under-consuming, you know, where you see, like, with fad diets, crash diets. You don't have to start taking things away. You can generally add some healthy steps in throughout the day, even if it's, again, taking out the liquid calories, maybe using, like, an olive oil instead of you know, butter one day, or adding in, you know, a fruit or vegetable at every meal. Again, finding foods that you like that are healthy. Even if you're a fast food addict, maybe not having fries at every meal. You know, maybe just eating the burger, starting there. Maybe finding, if you're eating like a salad there, well, maybe use half of the salad dressing, or, you know, park your car just a little bit farther, because those steps do add up. You know, the Fitbits, I think, are a great way just to kind of track your, you know, daily expenditure.
Yeah, my Apple Watch is buzzing right now. Yeah. To stand up.
Yeah, Apple Watch, Fitbit, anything like that, that's just a reminder. I mean, you can set an alarm on your phone, too. And again, you know, replacing the sugary drinks with even like unsweetened, like herbal tea, or if you wanted to use some stevia in that because you like the sweetness. I think those are generally kind of the starting points. Tracking what you eat too, even if it's just for a week, gives you a really good snapshot, and being honest with yourself of what you're actually eating.
Calories don't count after 8 p.m. though.
Right. And they don't count with friends too.
That's true. Yeah, or first thing in the morning.
Right.
I really like your tips, your strategies. I can see how you'd be really good at this, because it's all really simple stuff, but those simple things are what makes the bigger difference down the road. So I like that. So with a person that's dealing with a chronic disease or some kind of health condition, is there nutritional advice that you find can really help them recover from their illness?
Yeah, so, and that's where kind of the difference between like a dietitian and a nutritionist comes into play. So by law, anytime someone has like a medical diagnosis, like heart disease is like the first one I can think of, that's where dietitians have to work with that patient, because it's considered medical nutrition therapy. So it's simply where making those dietary changes within your diet as related to your medical condition, versus general, you know, lifestyle advice. And
it has to be overseen by a dietitian.
Yeah, if there's any type of medical condition associated with that. But, you know, it depends. I mean, every disease state is so different. I mean, the most common ones are, as you guys probably know too, diabetes and heart disease, and they go hand in hand with one another. So, like, the first thing that comes to mind with that is, I know there's a lot of really interesting research right now suggesting that going more towards plant-based, they're finding that it's actually starting to reverse symptoms of, like, heart disease and stuff, which is, I mean, it's so cool that, you know, your diet can have that big of an impact on, you know, your overall health.
They're actually finding...
But are we just now finding this out? I mean,
yeah.
I mean, it's
we have
like,
to research.
It's becoming more mainstream because there's more doctors out there. There's more medical doctors out there that are using registered dietitians to cure type 2 diabetes. You see it every day. Yeah. Someone getting off their insulin medication. And the first step to that, I think, is a good foundation or good understanding or support system of nutrition. Yeah. Because this diabetes or this heart disease came about because of lifestyle habits.
Right. And that's where the like allied health professions like working together as an interdisciplinary team. That's why it's so important, is that if you have your dietitian telling you one thing, and then you have your physical therapist telling you one thing, and you have your doctor telling you one thing, and you have the nurse telling you one thing, and it's all kind of, and they all communicate together effectively, it's gonna click at some point. It's gotta click.
We're big on working with healthcare providers, MDs. We work with a lot of MDs in the area. And try and collaborate as much as possible.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you know, 3 heads, 4 heads are definitely better than one.
It takes a village.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you see any common dietary issues with like say cancer, heart disease, and diabetes. I mean, I'm sure you know, fast food and that's probably part of it, but
that's a good question. I mean, I think lifestyle is, I mean, especially with like type 2 diabetes, it's a lifestyle disease. So are you doing things that are either preventing you from getting the disease, or are you doing things that are kind of aiding in that? I mean, with cancer, it's all just kind of like, are you genetically like predisposed to it? And it's whatever turns on that mutation. I mean, it could be environment, it could be lifestyle. I mean, stress. It could be diet. I mean, there's so many things that come into play with that. And I mean, with heart disease too. I mean, you can be a perfectly healthy, active, fit male and still have a heart attack. I know Bob Harper had a heart attack a couple of years ago. So there is, to a certain point, I mean, genetics play into it, but you can certainly do things to help decrease your chances of getting those types of conditions.
Nutrition's a big part of that. I mean, I think of it like this: when you're born, you're given this golden bucket, if you will, and it's empty. And as you go through life, if you fill that with healthful things, with the fresh vegetables and fruits, and healthy grains and healthy proteins, and less of the additives and preservatives and chemicals, and then you are going to have this bucket of health all the time that's going to help you in all areas. When you have that very stressful event, you're protected. When you have those bad genetics, you're protected. I mean, that nutrition is kind of the buffer, versus that bucket full of junk.
Right.
You come into contact with somebody ill with that unhealthy bucket, and your bucket's tipping over, your health is just, you don't have a chance.
Right.
If you don't have that protection there with nutrition.
And what's interesting too is that like your nutrition starts even before you're born. So it starts with the mother too, right? I mean, so if mom is eating healthy food throughout the pregnancy, it's like your taste buds are more already kind of developed towards that, right?
Absolutely.
And then if mom, breastfeeds, well, everything that you eat, the baby's going to get too. So if you're eating those healthy foods, baby's getting a taste of it, in the breast milk too.
Definitely.
So it's even, I mean, just a further reason why people should take their health. Women particularly should take their health seriously.
Absolutely. So you do coaching, you do one-on-one coaching, you do group coaching. What does a typical visit look like with you?
So for everyone, regardless if you've never been a client of mine, I offer like a 15-minute, I call it a discovery session. So it's complimentary, but it's just we sit down and kind of see, it's a screening essentially to see if we would be a good fit working together, if the client is at a place where they're really, ready to make a change, they're committed to it.
Are they willing to give up what's making them sick?
Exactly. And are they willing to work with me too? I'm going to work with them along the way.
But you can't do it.
I can't. I can't make you choose those choices. They have to come, from you. But then after that, if you're on any of the nutrition coaching packages, everyone gets a 60-minute initial assessment, and then just based off of the assessment, that's where I kind of create like your plan of care. So we set goals, that we want to work on. I use this really cool platform that allows my clients to journal their food. They can even like just take a picture of it and upload it, because sometimes that's easier than writing everything down. There's a mood journal associated with it too, so just check it in with yourself emotionally to see how you're feeling, recommend different...
After they eat food?
Yes, and before too. What's going on, because that's so important.
Are you... Healthy or unhealthy relationship
track,
with food?
What draws you to certain foods probably too.
Yeah,
and try and break those habits.
Really helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. There's, messaging through that. I make myself accessible to all my clients just because I want them to feel successful, whatever it is in what they're doing, and supported as well. And then each package just has a different amount of follow-up sessions associated with it. And I just started taking United Health Insurance, which has been a huge process.
That was my next question. Are you associated with any insurance?
Yeah, so I take United. I'm waiting on a contract still from Blue Cross. and then waiting to hear from Aetna too. But as of now, I'm just taking United, since everything is, insurance companies are in no hurry to get you added to their roster.
You mentioned that you have other health packages. Mm-hmm. What are those for patients that don't have insurance?
Yeah. So it's like private pay that I do. And sometimes too with the private pay clients, you're not bound by, time constraints, or did they hit their mark for how many visits this year? So it's still really affordable in the grand scheme of things. And I work with you to kind of make it work throughout to fit your budget and that type of thing.
Yeah. So I see that you also, we mentioned in your bio that you do CrossFit.
Yeah.
We do too.
Yeah.
He's a coach for CrossFit, and I do a similar style of that as well.
Yeah.
Militia,
Militia.
So you also help with sports performance with nutrition advice for that.
Yeah, so I'm actually working with an Olympic athlete right now who's local to the Asheville area. He's a hurdler. And so it's been really fun working with him just because it's completely different, we're seeing how his nutrition is affecting his performance. He trains for, he's a professional athlete, so he's training for a couple hours every day. So, making his nutrition needs, fit within the workouts too. But yeah, I do help athletes with that. I've done work with some CrossFit athletes. They tend to be a little bit more specific with wanting, macros or that type of thing. Post-workout nutrition.
Yes, very important.
Yes, very important.
About how sore I was today. Yesterday's workout.
Yeah.
Protein and carbs.
Yeah. Yep. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. So, and also, so the place that you do your nutritional consulting is Remedy Health and Wellness.
Yes.
So what is that store all about?
So it is not what you think of when you think of a health and wellness store. We do have supplements, but we have all sorts of things just to help you in your health and wellness journey, whether that's, and that looks very different for people too. Whether you're an athlete or you're, a middle-aged to older adult, or you have an aging parent or grandparent, we have products that will help support you with that. So we carry CBD oil, which is our #1 selling product, different types of ingestibles as well as topicals as well. We carry really great pillows that get your spine in alignment, which is wonderful. Yes. Really great pillows. We have some essential oils and bath products. Really cool product called Incrediwear. So that is, people are familiar with like CopperFit. This product in the fabric, it has carbon and germanium embedded in it. So it promotes increased blood flow and circulation into whatever body part, like your knee, for example, that needs healing. Wear it for 24 hours a day. It's awesome. I have a wrist brace of theirs that I swear by, especially anytime I've done a lot of like Olympic lifting. It really helps with, pain and recovery. But you don't have to be an athlete to use it either. They make these really cool circulation gloves. So people with arthritis notice that it really helps them a lot, especially at nighttime, post-surgery. So it's a really cool product. Bionic shoes and orthopedic shoe inserts, and we're always looking at
a bit of everything.
Too.
Yeah, this will be a good resource for our patients, some of the people listening to this, because we're always sending people here, there, and everywhere to get stuff like that. So as
sounds like you don't have anything,
right? And we can always carry specific products too per providers' requests.
Yeah,
right on. That's good to know. So, and you're right down the road. Your address is?
It's 2690 Hendersonville Road. So it is, our mailing address is technically Arden, but it's right as you cross over in Henderson County. It's across the street from the Mission Party and the Fletcher Y.
YMCA.
Yeah. And, we're all about this. Chiropractors, we want to help people gain, definitely connect their brain to their body and help their body heal naturally. We also want to help them with their diet and nutrition, and we do some consulting, not to the level that you do by no means, but we definitely want to help them get on a better path.
Yeah.
And exercise, we're always trying to
planting the seeds of healthier, to create this more balanced life, whether it's exercise or nutrition.
Especially now more than ever with
Yes.
the way that this, world is just spinning out of control,
Yeah.
so busy. So with that in mind, with these podcasts, we like to give really practical information because if you're spending your time listening to this, first of all, we appreciate it. But second of all, we want to give you an action step because we are do level people. We want you to take action and get healthier. So that's why we're here. That's our mission in life, right? So we want to ask you, when it comes to nutrition and eating healthy and getting life back in balance, when you're busy, whether you're a busy parent, just person, what's the one thing that you want to suggest our listeners to start doing now to get their busy life in balance?
So what I would recommend is just finding areas where you can make small improvements, right? So, and I know I've talked about this earlier, but if there's a place where you can add in some type of produce into a meal or a snack, do it. If you find that you're eating the same foods over and over again, try something new. I mean, we just bought kiwis this week because they look delicious and we haven't had them in forever. So just try different types of fruits and vegetables. You can even try different types of protein. I mean, buffalo is another really great source of protein that's really lean. Walmart sells it too. It's grass-fed, so it's a great, option. And drink water. I mean, I don't think we drink enough water as a whole. And, when we're well hydrated, then we notice like cravings for certain things might diminish, right? Sometimes we think we're hungry when we're actually thirsty and we just need some water.
Yeah, you totally lost me with try something different.
Yeah.
I very much like my chicken and rice.
Yeah.
Every day.
My black beans.
Yeah.
And Brussels sprouts.
Yeah.
I very much like.
We make the mistake of asking him, what are you having for lunch today? And, oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
It might have a different seasoning on it. It might be olive oil. It might be salsa. I don't know. It's whatever I felt adventurous that day.
So you could add cauliflower rice in with your
That's on
rice.
my list.
Yeah.
That's on my list. Yeah.
Or like they make broccoli rice. I mean, the spiralized like zucchini noodles. Just you can always add a little bit of color in with your chicken or rice. My boyfriend's the same way. He preps chicken in the crock pot, makes a big fan of rice, and he likes vegetables. He just doesn't make them for himself, so I'm always making extra so he can have them.
Yeah.
Broccoli rice. I'm on it. That's
Yeah.
my one thing.
Broccoli.
Awesome. Great.
Cauliflower rice.
I love
Cauliflower rice.
That's what I'm going to do.
Great. Thank you for those tips.
Yeah.
And we appreciate you being here. So if our listeners want to get in touch with you and set up a discovery session or just ask you a question, how can they do that? How can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, so they can reach me by email, which is really easy. It's just my name. So it's Kyla, G, Kyla, G as in girl, at remedyhw.com. Or they can give me a call on my business number at 540-929-0668, or they can just come by the store.
Awesome. And what's the website for the store?
It's remedyhw.com.
Awesome. Okay. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
For doing what you do.
Yeah, no, thank